Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to your favorite podcast, Chiquis and Chill, where you come to chill, to listen, to grow, and to glow. I hope you all are enjoying season 4 because I definitely am. We've covered so many different topics, and I can't wait for you guys to hear what else we have in store for you. So let me get into today's episode because our guest is a very special guest, and he's very excited to be here, and I'm excited that he's here, and I'm excited to have him. His name is Emilio Sanchez. He happens to be my husband. Say hello, babe.
Hi, beautiful girl.
So I'm putting him on the hot seat today because we're going to talk about our first year of marriage and how it's gone and how we're navigating challenges and situations. And then we'll wrap up the episode with some advice for any newlyweds out there. So be sure to listen to the entire episode. Are you ready, babe?
Yes, I am.
All right. So before we get into it, I wanted to give you guys a little recap. We tied the knot on July 5th, 2024. It was a very intimate wedding in Las Vegas, and it was a very special night, a very special day that I'll never forget. And we did not prepare for this episode. I mean, that's the way I like to do things, you guys. I like to just speak from the heart. He doesn't know exactly what we're going to talk about. We're just going to say the truth because not everyone, but a lot of people have shared that the first year of marriage is the hardest. And I don't know. I wouldn't say that it wasn't easy peasy. I'll tell you that much. So let's go back to last year when we got married. Okay. I think because we were in the middle of touring and we had a very busy year, we spent a lot of time together. That we were very fortunate that even though we were both working, because you were on tour with Becky, and then I was on La Academia, I was doing so much, but we were able to spend a lot of time together.
Yeah.
And so I feel like we were just in the nitty gritty and working and grinding that it felt, yes, we're married and it was good. And I don't feel like it was in any way bad. But then things slowed down. And I feel like stuff got real in January of this year.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I just want to kind of explain on how crazy it was last year because
Go ahead.
Because it's we did get married and then it was just so many things. And while all these things are happening, you also dropped Que Siga Pasando, which was our marriage anthem for the year. Mm-hmm. And looking back at it now, it was very present. We felt the love from everybody. It was just a love year,
It was beautiful, for sure.
So it was a lot. It felt really good. It was really fun and it felt big, in our lives.
Yeah.
Well, for me at least.
Same.
And then in January, then it calmed down.
It did calm down, I think, because, the dust started settling, in other words, and, things started slowing down. And then I started IVF.
Yeah. January was just so much
Remind me.
Just a lot of the last few days of our vacation, that's when the Los Angeles fire started. And I think
that's right.
It had such an impact on us, especially because, we live here in Los Angeles and it affected a lot of people and a lot of people we care about and just our city, and
it wrecked me, guys.
It started a kind of a snowball effect from there.
For sure. I agree with you. And that's why I'm so glad that I can talk to you about this because I tend to forget things, you guys, and apparently it's due to traumatic experiences in my childhood that's a coping mechanism. This is something I just recently learned because I'm why is it that I can't remember certain things? I have to write things down and then unless I see a picture, then it sparks the memory. So anyway, I'm glad you did bring that up because it took me back to last year, November. And I remember us being in Miami and it was beautiful because I won my 3rd Latin Grammy. You were with me. We took awesome pictures. And I think that was the beginning of me taking medication for IVF. So I was feeling it, but not as heavily. And then in December was when we went to the Philippines and we had our vacation and it was amazing. And then at the tail end of it, I was doing my best to just not be on my phone because that's one of the biggest things with Emilio and I, that he likes me to be present and not work as much. which I appreciate. It's a little difficult. I think that's been one of the hardest things in our relationship. And correct me if I'm wrong, babe, but it has been a little difficult because I am a bit of a workaholic, but with Emilio, being with him, with you, it's really just helped me remember what's important. And anyway, so I tried to stay off my phone the entire time we were there, just whatever was necessary. And then the fires did happen and it really affected me. Like I felt like I was abandoning my city. And he had to remind me, like, babe, there's not much that we can do, even if we were there. This is happening. But I felt like, oh my gosh, my siblings are out there. Like, and I'm in the Philippines, like across the globe. And it was driving me a little bit nuts. And I wanted to come back because I wanted to help. And we had like 3 more days in our trip. And I just had to kind of silence everything. And like Emilio said, it was a snowball effect because I was also on these hormones, you guys, and taking the medicine that my IVF doctor, needed me to take in order to get pregnant. And I was an emotional wreck. And I don't know if you want to take it from there.
Yeah, no, just to touch on that a little bit, like, we were in vacation mode. So our mind was really, relaxed and we were chilling. And, it was a big enough event where it was all over the news in the Philippines. Like it was on the TVs everywhere we were walking. We can see just fires all over the TV.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in another country and you see your home on fire on the television, like it hits different than like seeing it if you're here.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, all right, let's get home. And then also to touch on like the phone thing too. It's not that I'm like, oh, we can't have phones or we can't be on our phone or we can't check our phone. My biggest thing with that is like, I love being present with each other. And that means, many different things. Like if we're on a walk, if we're walking down the street to get to a restaurant or something, and like I point something out and I say, hey, look at this or this or that, like, and our engagement with like being wherever we're being or wherever we're at, like that is like the biggest connection to me to like, look at this or look at that, experience this with me.
For
see,
sure.
and like, that's when I feel the best when I'm with you.
And most connected.
Yeah.
When our eyes are seeing the same things on the road.
Yes.
And I get it because there are a lot of times when Emilio's driving and I am working, I'm on my phone and he's like, oh my God, did you see this in the sky? And he's so present. And I'm like, wait, what? And I miss it. So I've learned to slow down and just tell myself that can wait because I love to be very responsible. I love to work. I love what I do, you guys. So it's been very difficult to find that balance, but I'm so grateful because Emilio has been that reminder for me. And I'm grateful,
Yeah.
I really, really am. And we have not really talked about IVF and how it's made me feel. And this is a very touchy subject for Emilio and I right now because, we want to have a baby. And the medication wasn't making me feel like myself. I felt like I was on mute. I could not think straight. I could not get my thoughts straight at all. Everything was foggy. My energy levels were very low. I was very sad. I was angry. Him and I were having the worst arguments we ever had, guys. He already understands that I'm very sensitive. And with the medicine, I was ultra sensitive. And I think it was like water and fire mixing and it would just sizzle. And we had these crazy arguments, right, babe?
Yeah.
Are you trying to remember?
No, I'm not. I'm trying to, my brain is just working, and it just makes me think of like what an argument is and what a fight is and like how different they are. We had very intense arguments.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, I think that we don't fight a lot. I don't think we fight.
Mm-mm.
I think fighting is when you're just going at it with a partner and the actual problem is not even, discussed or engaged with. Like, then you're just like insulting and yelling and I don't know, throwing stuff. Like we don't do any of that. Like our arguments are like, especially I think with this one, because I believe it's like one of the biggest subjects of life that you can discuss. So like it's our two perspectives coming together and trying to fit that together is like, it can be explosive.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I remember this specific night, and I don't even remember what we were arguing about. To be completely honest, our arguments, our discussions, whatever you want to call them, are very silly. Once I sit and think about it, I'm like, why did we even argue? It's just because I just wasn't being my best self. I wasn't, and I didn't feel like my best self, you guys. I felt like someone was taking over my body. And I don't know how else to explain it, but I told him, I felt like I wanted to smile and be happy, and I would listen to a song because music makes me happy, right? And I just couldn't. I'm like, oh my gosh, my body is stuck. Like I felt like my hands were tied. It's the weirdest thing. Anyway, I remember this specific argument that we had, and he was on the couch, and I went upstairs and I was just crying and this whole thing. And I wanted him to come and hug me and, come get me, and he didn't. So I was like, oh, I was so angry. I was laying there and I'm like, oh my gosh, is he really going to stay down there? I think he had just had it because it was a lot. And again, I was just a hot mess, you guys. And I remember coming downstairs like a little girl, never forget. And he was on the couch and he was so mad. I could see it in his face. I was like, oh, he's so angry at me. And I just looked at him and I started crying like a little girl. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not being my best self. And I just started crying and he just held me. He's like, I could tell that he's just like, okay. And that's, I think, what you needed is just for me to just, I guess, I don't know, be soft and
Yes.
let myself be loved. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it changes everything because I think I can remember that exact moment where I was still upset, but the feeling of having to be there for you was greater than me being upset.
Mm.
I needed something to knock me off my course that I was on of just, I'm upset, we're fighting.
Yeah.
And that does it for me. When your attitude switches up, it helps me like let go.
Yeah. And I've learned that because I could argue.
Yeah.
I have been in my masculine energy for so long because I had to in the music that I was singing in the industry. It's like I had to have my fists up, kind of like on defense mode, like, be ready for war if need be. And not that I wanted to be at war with anyone. It was always coming at me, and I had to be ready. So I feel like for a long time I was in my masculine and I had to be like my siblings' protector and or whatnot. And then God brought me Emilio, and I have been able to step more into my feminine and realize that even if he's also not being his best self, because I think during that time, I think it was just, he didn't know what to do with me. That sometimes I did feel like he wasn't as compassionate, like you weren't as compassionate as I would have liked.
It was a lot. There's so many things.
It was just such a hard time. It was for 3 months, you guys, it was horrible. Like we had cute moments and nice moments, but January, February, March, oh my gosh, you guys, very, very difficult in my eyes.
Emotionally, yes.
Emotionally.
Yes.
Then here's the difficult, the very sensitive topic, delicate topic here was when I decided that I did not want to transfer our embryo.
Yeah.
Because we were 2 weeks away from that. And I had already taken medicine since November. So November, December, January, February, March, 5 months. And I thought, okay, we transfer, we're done. The baby's in there, we're good. No. And I was willing to I'm like, okay, I got this. I'm a gangster. I'm a warrior. I got this. I'm going to get this done. But then where I was like, oh my gosh, I have to inject myself, I don't know how many times a day for 3 months so that my body doesn't reject the embryo. It just threw me through a loop. And I said, wait a second, I can't. It's so hard. I was trying so hard to keep it together. And as it progressed, the process progressed, I got worse. I would sit at my desk, I'm not kidding you guys, trying to get so much done. I had a list of things to get done and I couldn't get one done. I remember sitting at my desk for 8 hours and I didn't get one thing done. I could not use my brain. I don't even know how to explain it. That I said, oh my gosh, something scared me. I said, wait, let me try to do this holistically. Let me try to just cleanse my body. And that was very difficult. I mean, tell me how you felt.
Yeah. Sorry, I want to go back to our arguing real quick because
Yeah.
I wanted to say something on that where
Yeah, sure.
I feel like arguing with couples, like it affects couples differently, and it affects the individuals in the couple differently. Like when we're arguing, you can continue to do things. Like you can like talk to people, you can listen to music, you can do the chores that you need to do, you can like you continue to move and just keep going. Me,
Yeah.
I shut down and I can't do anything. I can't look at my phone. I can't think about anything else. I don't want to move. I don't want to do anything. And it's weird that we never talked about that here,
Yeah, you're right.
but it sounds so familiar because we talk about it all the time. And it's like it helps us, solve our arguments better or understand each other better, because everyone reacts differently to an argument with your partner. I think we've gotten a lot better at knowing how our partner reacts to arguments and being able to come together a lot easier than we used to.
For sure.
And it's like, okay, what I do is like, even in this super heightened moment where we're either frustrated or mad at each other or whatever, it's like, I think a good thing that we're able to do is like, okay, what does my partner need at this critical moment? And what can I do? Even if I'm mad, what can I do to try to make that happen or help or assist my partner get what they need at the same time giving myself and getting what I need too?
Yeah.
Because in our arguments, that now I'm just putting myself back downstairs on the couch and you're upstairs and us coming together. Like, how do we make that happen more easily in the future and continue to do that?
I think putting our ego to the side, at least for me.
Yeah.
That's been the biggest thing for me, because I've had to defend myself, for the lack of a better term. Like that's how I felt like I had to, and now I understand that I have someone safe, someone that makes me feel safe and gives me peace. And I really want to be my best self. And I feel safe enough to do that. I want to be in my soft girl era, and embrace my femininity.
In the beginning, especially in the first couple of years, like you would do that. And in my head, I'm like, we're having this big argument and you're just continuing your life. And it felt like you weren't there with me, or you didn't care, or it didn't affect you as much. But that's just, now that I see, or now that I understand, it's how you cope with it. And it's how
that was my defense mechanism. Yeah.
How you deal with it. And it's just, everyone deals with it differently.
Yeah. And yeah, for sure. And I'm so proud to say that is not the case in this first year of being married. I have definitely grown a lot. And I think even Emilio has. And I'm happy to say that, right now we do want a baby. We're working on it. We're leaving it in God's hands. And, we'll decide if IVF is for us in the future or what we're going to do. But right now, I think we're enjoying our marriage. And I don't know, this is my person. This is the person that I want to be with. And sometimes this has never happened to me in any other relationship, where we're arguing and I'm like, well, why am I going to be mad? I mean, I want to be with him anyway, forever. So I just got to fix it. And before I was like, no, I want to have the last word. And it was just all these silly things that comes from like ego, that now I'm like, well, I love this guy. Like, I know I'm safe in his arms. I know he wants the best for me. And let's talk about it. And we do that now. I'm really like happy that I don't feel bored. I honestly, I don't. I feel like I could be with you every single day, every minute, and I don't get bored, and I still get to be myself. And that's very important for me, because I want to be in a relationship where I am my authentic, embrace our individuality. And I think we've gotten there.
Yeah, I'm thinking about IVF right now because it's just crazy, because I mean, to be honest with everyone listening, like this is ongoing. Like this is like right now in the moment, and it's like me and Janae are due for these conversations, and they're just happening right now. Because I mean, I think it was maybe 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
2 days ago, we're talking about trying to figure this out of like, are we doing IVF? How many months do we really have to try naturally before that is our option? Or just, I was more in the position of I want to do IVF right now. And I want to have this baby without trying to put pressure on Janae and without trying to, and I tried to explain that to her 2 days ago. Actually, you're correct, 2 days ago. Because yesterday I had a phone call from a good friend.
She's been on the podcast.
Oh yeah, Liz Hernandez. And Liz is my big sister. She's been there for me for a lot of things. And we haven't talked in a while. And she called me yesterday and I kind of just updated her a little bit. And
you are so handsome, by the way.
Thank you, Doodle.
You're so cute. Are you getting emotional?
Yeah, she just reminded me of like, this is like our first year together. Like, enjoy this moment. She's like, don't get stuck on, oh, I'll be happy when we're engaged. I'll be happy when we get married. I'll be happy when we have a kid. She's like, just remember to be happy now. And like, there are things that I know, but it's just, I needed to hear it.
Mm.
I didn't know that I needed to hear that. It made me, and that's when I texted you and I was like, I feel better about things. And I'm like, I don't want to rush it. I don't think we need to rush it. In my head, myself, my brain tells me we need it now, because it'll make us happy. And it's like, I'm already happy with you. And I'm really, truly happy with you right now. And it's our first year. Let's enjoy this first year of marriage. There's no rush. We can get pregnant after the first year. Like, there's no real timeline.
Yeah.
And like, it really shifted a lot for me yesterday after talking to her.
Thank God for Liz.
Yeah.
It was hard. It was tough. It was a conversation that I was avoiding because I know how much he wants his baby, and I want a baby as well. I know because I know that if God got me pregnant naturally last year, it can happen again. And I know that God's going to make it happen. And IVF is a beautiful thing. And if that's the route we decide to take, then so be it. But it was tough. It is very difficult, you guys. You know, I'm very honest with you. And I think IVF is a beautiful thing, that it's a great option for people that can't conceive and have the problems I have, the reproductive problems, the endometriosis and all these, the polyps, just so many things. But through it all, you guys, God made it happen. And I just want it to happen naturally. And I'm glad that Liz was able to talk to you about that, because I don't want pressure and I don't want to force it. And I just want to enjoy us. I still kind of want to be selfish with you and I. And, you know, baby's a huge responsibility and I'm ready for it, more ready than I ever have. You're the only person in the world that ever made me want to have a child. And I feel safe with doing so. But I'm also enjoying us, you know, and celebrating our first year anniversary. You guys, we're going to go to Egypt and to Paris, and we're going to just him and I. And I had never imagined before in relationships that I was in. And I think I told you guys this before when Emilio has been on the podcast, but in my previous relationships, like I couldn't be with them for too long. I'd get bored, or I have so much fun with you, babe. So I'm excited for that. And I know that it's going to happen when it's meant to happen. Like it's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, I feel a lot better about it. And
Good.
it's just crazy because, like, guys, like I've been meaning to tell you this and update you since yesterday, and I hadn't had the chance. So these are my real feelings. And the fears that make me have these thoughts are just like, oh, we're just going to get back into busy, and life's going to take away this opportunity for us to have that. And I need to not let that be the thing that's like driving my thoughts, because life's not going to stop and this baby's going to come when it comes. And I feel...
But do you see my efforts?
Absolutely.
And all the changes that I've made to make this happen?
Absolutely.
So I want you to like see that and the changes that I'm making in every single way. Like, you know how I am. When I decide something, I go all in and I'm in.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm on this new it's not even new, you guys. It's not like, oh, I found Janae. Like, no, I'm coming back to myself. I'm coming back to Janae. I'm coming home to my soul. And I just wanted to remind you about that because I was very scared to disappoint you and upset you. And, you get into your head as a woman, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to do this. And you feel broken and you feel all these things. And I had to shake it off and say, wait, no, like I know my body. My body is healing itself. My body is intelligent and I'm going to do my part and do what I can to make it happen. And I have, I did the indigenous medicine. I am willing to do anything holistic to make it happen because I know that it's possible. But I'm glad because I was feeling a little bit of pressure and it was kind of taking the fun out of it for me, if I could be honest.
Yeah. And it's kind of tricky, especially for me because, and this is why 2 days ago I brought it up and I was like, we need to talk about this because I really don't bring it up. Like I feel like I don't verbally put pressure. And if I do in any way, I apologize, but I try not to bring it up because I'm also just trying to like let it happen in a way as well. But 2 days ago, I'm like, hey, I know this is a tough conversation, but I just need to tell you again and so that your ears can literally just hear it, that there is no pressure. I'm here with you. I had to tell you just to remind you, even if it's something that you already knew. And even if I had told you a month before or 2 months before, good. It's something that I just need to I felt like I needed to remind you of.
Yeah. And you did a great job and you held me and I cried and you did make me feel better. You made me feel safe and I feel better about it. So I am grateful because it just made things feel better. And guys, this is a real conversation that's being had here on the podcast. So thank you for your patience and listening in. We're having a therapy session right now. But that's what it is. I mean, if you had to rate our first year of marriage from a scale from 1 to 10, what would you?
10 out of 10.
For real. Okay. No, I'm serious. You can tell.
I'm serious. Like it was exactly what it needed to be. Exactly like what it could have been. Like it was great. Ups and downs. Like I wouldn't change absolutely anything about it. Like I look at you right now, I'm like, I am so happy with you. And I tell you every day, I want to marry you again. I want to marry you again.
I hope you feel that like that forever.
Yeah.
And talking about that, okay, well, wait. Well, thank you because I agree with you. I think that we've done a very good job. I think because we're both ready and we're both willing to do the work. That's the biggest thing. That if I didn't have a husband and a partner, a companion that wasn't willing to do the work and was working on himself in every single way, it wouldn't allow me to also do my work, but it would just make things more difficult. I think the fact that we're on the same wavelength with that is great because you're doing your thing. You're not like, it's not like I feel like I have to heal you. It's you're doing your work and I'm doing mine and together we're stronger. And that's what a relationship is. Finally, I freaking get it. Like, I'm like, okay, like, they always say, oh, I need to find me media naranja. Like, no, like I want to be whole. You give me like, oh, in order for me to be complete, I need to find my other half. But in reality, you need to come into a relationship being whole yourself. And that other person needs to be whole and like loving themselves and then coming together and it makes everything better. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I get it.
So what do you rate me as a wife? Have I been a good wife? Say the truth.
Yeah. I think you're awesome. Honestly, I think I'm so happy with the way everything is. Even the hard things, like I wouldn't trade it for anything at all.
Okay, cool. And just a little, side funny story, guys. Talking about this first year, we just recently put up our wedding photos, literally like a few days ago in our home. And it just made our home feel and look so beautiful and complete. And it just feels like it's ours. Do you get that feeling when I walk in? It's just a beautiful reminder of, okay, I'm leaving all the junk outside and I'm walking into my space with my husband. That's every time I see the pictures, it takes me back. Like, I'm like, wow, I didn't realize how important it is to see those pictures on a daily basis.
Yes.
It's made me feel more connected.
it's the first thing you see when you walk into our house now.
Yeah, they're so
But
pretty.
every time I pass it, I'll look at one, or I'll just get this feeling every time I see it. And then I'll just yell to you, my love, I want to marry you again. It was really cool too, because putting these photos up, like I looked through the gallery again and like saw photos that like, after we got married, like you pick your favorite photos and then you post them. And then those are the photos that live and the ones that you see. But then when you go into the gallery, there was other photos of just that you didn't look at as much or that you didn't see. And they just kind of like, they bring you back to that moment. And it felt really good seeing all the different moments throughout that day and how I felt in the room, how I felt when I was waiting for you, how I felt when we were finally done, like how it felt when we saw each other. Like it was just really cool.
I don't remember who told me. I can't remember right now. But anyway, they said that the next time we have an argument or we're having a rough patch to go back to our wedding video or read our vows, and it just sets the tone again. And we haven't done that. And I think we should do that in Paris or when we're right.
Oh, that's
Who
good.
I don't know if they told you the same thing or if they told us together, but someone told me this, and we should, because our vows were freaking superb, guys.
Yeah, yours are crazy.
Yeah,
yours
they were.
Like
I wrote my ass off.
Yours shook the earth a little bit.
Dude, honestly, guys, when I sit down and write and I'm super inspired, as you guys heard here on the podcast, I've been writing a lot more and reading to you guys what I write in my notes, and my vows were off the chain. So I gotta do that.
Yeah. And
what?
It's one of the photos that I selected to put up on the wall was you sitting in your wedding dress writing your vows to me.
Yeah.
So I
handwriting. My hand was hurting like a mofo.
I did the same. And we had planned to do this days before. We ended up, without knowing, both writing our vows right before, which I think is great because it's when you're feeling the most feelings, and we also weren't with each other, and we didn't sleep with each other. So like
we didn't speak the whole day.
Yeah, it's weird.
It was crazy.
It's really weird.
We're so connected, dude. We were doing it at the same time.
We did at the same time, which is fucking tight. Sorry. It was tight.
And going back to that moment, just real quick, I could not. I was like, I just want to finish writing these vows already because I want to tell him and I just want to see him. I just want my friend back. I was like, it's been like a whole freaking day. It was crazy. It was so nice. We got to do it again, dude. So let me ask you a question, babe. If you want me to answer first, I will answer. But what is the best part about being married, do you think? To me, your only wife.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the first thing that really just comes to my head of like what I feel all the time is just like, I never feel alone in my life in anything. Like, I feel like I always have someone. Like, you have someone when you go home, and anything that comes your way throughout your day, like, you get to bring it back and like share it with your partner. Whether it's something really good, you're the first person I call. If it's something really bad, you're also the first person I call,
Mm-hmm.
And it feels so amazing to have someone that, for so many reasons of why you're an amazing wife, but like that I trust you, that we love each other, that we connect so well, that we have so much fun together. There's so many things, obviously, right? There's so many things that we understand about each other, why we love each other. But knowing that you have that all the time, it's like, what else would you want? Like, it's the best thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
And so having each other is just, it's the greatest. Great. And seeing, I actually am seeing a lot of, young people in my family, friends, a lot of young guys like starting to get engaged. And I just catch myself like just trying to talk to them and like kind of guide them a little bit, and it feels good. It feels good to do that, to like try to pass that along, because I left a comment on one of my little cousins and he got engaged, and I think he's super young to do it. But I just said, hey, dude, marriage is the best thing you can ever do if you do it right.
Yeah.
And so that's how I feel about my marriage. It's the best thing I could have done.
Yeah, same. I'm so happy that I gave marriage a second chance, because this is amazing, and this is my first time being married for a year, you guys. So that's a huge thing for me. Yeah. So thank you. I'm super excited to celebrate it. And I think the best part about being married is, kind of to piggyback on what you said, was just companionship, knowing that even when the world is falling apart, because I have felt that in the last year quite a bit in my personal life, with my siblings, my career, just so many different things. And just to know that I have someone to lean on and lay my head on is amazing. And not only that, it's the right person, the person that is going to make me feel better and knows what to tell me and gives me good advice because he wants the best for me. That is the best part, that I could still be myself, because I don't ever want to feel controlled or in any way like I'm being tamed. It sounds weird, but it's like I want to tame myself. I want to change because I want to, not because someone's making me. And I've never felt that with you. So I want to say thank you for that. And it's just nice to have a friend that I also get to make love to and laugh with and argue with and then make up and just have fun. It's that companionship, So it's been the best part about being married, and someone that likes to eat the same foods that I like to eat.
Yeah.
That's important, yo.
That's all we do.
That's all we do.
Really.
We love to eat.
He's in a bad mood, just get her some food. Because they will change in a heartbeat.
Whatever, dude. Suck it.
And she'll eat mad. I see. That's
sure will.
I said earlier. When we're arguing and we have food, I won't eat. I'll just leave it there.
Uh-huh.
She will eat. She don't care. And I'm like, damn, I was like, you must have been really hungry.
That is true, you guys. Whatever, Emilio. You know what? See, that's how you guys know I'm consistent and very authentic in everything that I do, because I am a foodie, even when I'm mad. Okay. Like, I am consistent in everything that I do. So thank you for pointing that out, babe.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite things about you.
And I'm happy to say that Emilio is the same exact person, if not better, every single day. You're the person that I chose, and I'm glad that I did. And I love to say that you haven't changed. In my mind, while we were going through IVF and I was in a very dark place, I thought that you had changed. I kept telling you, I was like, you're different. You're not treating me the same. It was crazy.
We both were feeling things that we
were feeling
never
things.
Felt before.
Very foreign.
Heavy.
Yeah, it was very heavy. It was heavy and dense, but nonetheless, you were there for me, and I'm grateful. And I am completely 100% in love with you. And I just want to say thank you, dude.
Thank you.
I don't know if you would like to give any newlyweds out there some advice real quick, on the first year of marriage and how to navigate through emotions.
I think, just to recap everything real quick, yes, we talked about a lot of the heavy stuff, but for every, if there was 10% heavy stuff, that 90% of all the good is still happening, and it's still, it's for us. It's our daily happiness, the happiness that we have when we go on trips and when we're at home and when we're with our family, or just, all that is amazing, and it makes everything else worth it, and it makes everything make sense. I think the biggest thing is just patience. Because when you have patience, you're going to understand. And then when you understand, you're just going to connect with your partner even more. Just really try to understand your partner and what they need at all moments. And if you do that and not really think about yourself, your partner will take care of you the way you need.
Yeah.
And I think we do a really good job at that.
I agree. I love everything you said. And if I can give you guys any advice, definitely keep God in the center of your relationship. Pray together every night. There are going to be arguments. Just remember that you chose that person. And if you chose that person and it feels right and you feel peace in your heart and your partner is willing to give as much as you're willing to give, then he's also worth you leaning in, even if that means that you have to apologize or fix things. Even if you feel it's not my fault, put the ego to the side, guys. It's not worth it. It's time wasted. It's energy wasted. And that's something that I have had to remind myself and just say, you know what? I love this person, and you got to pick and choose your battles. And this is one that I don't care to win. And you just push it to the side. and you go and give your partner a kiss and just say, babe, I love you. And I'm sorry that I was not my best self. And hopefully he embraces you the way Emilio has, because that's important, because that gives you a safe place.
Yeah.
Thank you, babe, for being on the podcast. It was a beautiful conversation. So thank you for being on. People love to hear from us. And I'm excited to celebrate many 1-year anniversaries with you.
Yeah, okay.
Because I want it to feel like the first year all the time, if not better.
I know what you want.
Que siga pasando, baby. Okay? Basically. That's why I wrote you that song.
I know.
I love you. Thank you guys so much for listening to the pod. If I could just ask you for something, just pray. Pray for your girl. Pray for her marriage. Pray for her womb. Send me positive vibes. I love you guys. And I'm really grateful that you guys choose to listen to Chiquis and Chill. Hasta la próxima, baby. This is a production of iHeartRadio and the My Cultura Podcast Network. Follow us on Instagram at My Cultura Podcast and follow me, Chiquis, that's CHIQUIS. For more podcasts from iHeart, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.